3, 2, 1. Alright, so here are both the inner frame of the Lupus, Gundam Barbatos Lupus, and Gundam Barbatos Lupus Rex, 1/100 scale. And this is actually from the, and technically speaking, this is basically the Form 6 version, or the Form 6 or Type 6, because I never purchased that one. I only had the original Barbatos, which I should get it out in a moment so we do a side-by-side comparison. But this is what the inner frame looks like, and I wanted to see how it looks first so you guys can see this. The Lupus is very tall, good detail here. The back area. Feels like I'm holding a Terminator, because it has that unique endoskeleton look to it. Don't recall. There were certain parts of this kit that I remember from the original inner frame of the Barbatos, which is a little different from, especially in the arms. I don't remember this from the original Barbatos, so this is a new feature, a new connector right there, obviously to extend the hand out a bit more. It is, of course, taller, more detailed oriented. The head looks kind of cool. Actually, I'm sorry there's not that much light here. Let's do a zoom here. That looks really nice. Yeah. So the Lupus looks really cool in its endoskeleton mode. Same holds true for the Lupus Rex, but when I was putting this together, obviously there were certain things that were different, like the forearms. How different the forearms here with that one. It's massive, it's huge, but it's not huge as in length. It's more in girth and in specific, I guess, size. But it also comes with this hidden little manipulator hand that's back here, clearly to grab things. So you have that option here. I think I've seen it only once, or it's been used more than once or twice in the anime. Don't know why would you still use it here, considering that you don't have any extra weaponry to use. That was the one thing that I was a bit. I mean, I liked the Lupus Rex. Don't get me wrong, but I thought it was I thought it was a stopgap, because unlike the Lupus, where you had all these other extra weaponry, you only had one weapon that was used on the Rex, and it would have been nice to see him see it used other type of weaponry, maybe another. There was comments that the original sword was going to come back. Maybe an axe, like a short-range axe or something like that. Instead, the only weapons it has is its the massive sword, massive mace, and the mega mace, and the tail. Everything on this kit is the same as this one. The only difference is the forearms. The joints on the elbows is different. The head. The fin here is different. There's also a little bit of a difference in the head, of course. But the chest area, the waist unit are identical. The legs are identical to this. So there's nothing different from the original Lupus, other than the areas that I just pointed. So that's interesting to see. The hands, of course, is the one thing that I'm kind of like positioning myself and how I'm gonna do this. I've already commented on what Zach said, so I'm looking forward to the possibility of doing this. And of course, this is where everything everybody's telling me about the weaponry. So since I was talking about it, let's remove this hand and we put the sword mace here. So we have one. You can actually pose it like that easily, and maybe just pose it like that. Pretty cool. A little gang, so may have to spin, spread out the legs, position it right. But this guy is the one in question that many people are saying to me that because of the weight, this thing is going to be too heavy. So let's test it out. Put that here. And yeah, you could pretty much see this thing just says plop. Let's bring this camera down so you can see it. It's plop right there. And, if you do position the arm like so, you keep it like that, it'll stay up, but then it'll turn left and right, and then of course you would have to like keep it here. You can't do the I'm holding it over my maybe you can, just it is a bit uncomfortably dangly like that. You see, like that? But it is nice. I really do like it. Actually, well, let's have some fun. Let's take this one off. Let's take this off. Now, for those of you who haven't noticed, actually no, my mistake. I thought this thing was curved, but I'm gonna put here this. So he's strong enough to hold this. Let's see if this guy's strong enough to hold this. Huh. Almost. Actually, let's bend the arm a bit. There we go. Yeah, this thing, there's a significant weight issue right there. Yeah, he's like struggling to hold it up. This is where I will probably agree on someone who kept on asking me this, or kept on saying this would have been perfect enough if it was a master grade. A master grade's joints would have been a little more stronger than the joints here, and it would have been strong enough to hold this massive weapon. So I do agree that if this was a master grade, we wouldn't be having this problem. But we have to deal with what we got. There is no, if I'm not mistaken, there is no polycaps here. There's a polycap here connecting to this joint, and there's a polycap here connecting to the hand. But there is no polycap here. It's two plastic parts. If there was a polycap there, and it could be, if it was tight enough, then yes, it would have been strong enough to hold this. But you also have to think the fact that this thing is one-sided in the weight. It's unlike this, the regular sword mace, which it's heavy. It's not that heavy. It may be a little unusual to hold, but it's still strong. The kit can hold it. Something like this, which has a more mass to its scale, looks great, but it's still not strong enough to hold something. Something like this can't be strong enough. It has to have more reinforcements. I wonder if, because I've seen a video, a site that Prime92 sent me about detailing parts where you can actually replace parts that has been redone as metal parts. I wonder if that can be done with that, like if they redo the metal parts for the shoulders, for the elbows, and obviously for the wrists. It's an idea. Of course, it'd probably be expensive to manufacture and produce something like that, but it would be more logical, right? These are the limitation of the Gundam kits that we've seen so far in years, where we know that certain kits will do amazing things on only if it has something to support it, like, oh, like this one, like you see this is the support option to hold the sword so it can be held up like that. We've seen that in the perfect grade, and even the high grade, the blue frame, no, the a stray blue frame, with the one with the sword. You guys know what I'm talking about. That one had to have a stand to hold it up. It's the same thing with the real grade double Quanta. You needed a stand to hold that sword up. So for that to hold a heavy sword, you have to have the kit has to be a little bit more heavier to be more stable, and it has to have I would believe more like a metal joint or a locking joint. But considering that these are 100 scale high grade kits, not master grade kits, it can only do this. So these are the limitations that we have to work with on these kits, and more power to the modelers out there who figures out how to hold on to these joints without using these. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. So I have the weaponry and the parts for the Lupus that I need to clean up, so they'll have the remaining charcoal parts of the Rex. Then I move on to the colors, cleaning up all those, and then once everything is done, we will begin priming the parts to go to the next stage of this build.